right, so Noah, we started talking about something, and I said I was just gonna type it up, and then got to thinking that was a lot to type up. So I have some adjectives on the board that go along with question 1 on page 4 of the student packet. And we were talking about, in number 1, how we had to describe Ivan's 2 closest friends, Stella and Bob, and that we have to be sure to name at least 2 adjectives for each character. So we brainstorm a few adjectives for each one, but it's not all of the words that would describe Stella or Bob. We had said Stella was wise, kind, caring, and big. Bob, small, funny, happy, friendly. So back to question 1. Describing his 2 closest friends, Stella and Bob, and using at least 2 adjectives to tell about the character, we have to explain each adjective. So like I was telling in the class, if you choose to write that Stella is wise, you have to think about information from the story that shows us or tells us that Stella is wise. Same thing for like funny. If you think Bob is funny, what from the story shows us that he's funny? Do those make sense? You guys have heard it twice now. All right. So telling 2 things that describe Stella and 2 words that describe Bob, and then explaining using information from the story that tells us that they are those 2 adjectives. Okay, look at question 2. There's 2 parts to it. First part, why is Mac in a bad mood in these chapters? Do you remember why?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to answer that. And then you're going to write down, Ivan has some things that he's going to do, right, to try to help Mac. Do you remember what those were? If you're not sure, should you skim back through? I don't remember which chapter that was.
Julia
Was it?
was the next chapter.
Well, no, but where it talks about what Ivan was going to do. Oh, it was the chapter A Plan, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's what was talked about in that chapter, is how Ivan is going to try to help Bob so that Bob's not in a bad mood anymore. So make sure you answer both parts of the second question. Okay, now, we were introduced to Julia in these chapters. So you have to tell who Julia is. That's the first question. Who is Julia? And the second question is, what is your opinion of Julia so far? So basically what that means is, what do you think of Julia so far? And then tell why. Why is that your opinion? Why do you think that of her?
So it's kind of like the first one, except you're not really.
Yeah, kind of. Because if you're explaining why you think that of Julia, are you kind of describing her?
Yeah.
What you think of her? All right. The last part where it says beyond and then it has the box and the lines underneath it, says below, draw a picture of an important event from these chapters, and then you're just going to write a caption that tells us about what you decided to draw, what you think was important from all of the chapters that we read. Do those make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, then that is actually probably all that we'll get through today. Any questions over any of that page? It's page 4 that you're working on. If you're not sure of something, where should you look? Back in the book. All right. No questions?